Today I'm starting work on my Mini Cooper S R56. I've had a couple issues with it overheating. The last couple of weeks, every time I drive and it's a little bit warmer outside, I get the engine temperature error message on the screen. So I'm gonna look into this issue, see what's going on. I assume there's a small leak somewhere. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I don't think it's burning any coolant, or the coolant's not really leaking into the engine, since I checked in the oil and the oil is in good condition. But as you can see, the tank in here is at the very minimum. So I've noticed that I had to add coolant probably every 2 weeks or so, and then whenever it gets to that lower amount, of course it overheats. Another thing I've noticed only one time though is that there was a drop of what looked like coolant underneath the car. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find the source of this leak. So hopefully it's not gonna be anything serious and we can fix it at home just like this. As you can see, I put the car on jack stands just so it's a little bit safer to work on. That should give me enough room to climb underneath, take all the protection stuff off right there and see if there are any leaks. Maybe run the car for a while and see what's going on in there as well. Let's get to it. So I have been looking under the car for a few minutes now and I don't see any leaks whatsoever. Everything looks bone dry. All these hoses, that looks all dry. All the way up to that one. That's dry as well. This one's all dry. Checking all of these connections as well. No leaks or anything in here. There's some weird zip tie in here. I'm not sure what that's all about. But other than that, that's fine. Going up through here, that's all dry as well. I see a little funky clip on here that's not very straight on, but I don't see why that would be an issue. Maybe that's something to look into. But pretty much looking at everything underneath the car, it looks bone dry. So I think I'm gonna have to run the car, get it fully warmed up, and see if a leak appears. Nothing that I can see. Looks all dry. So I guess good and bad. Let's see what it's gonna look like after we run it for 15-20 minutes. So the car ran for probably 15 to 20 minutes. And then as soon as the big loop opened, here's what I found under the car. That definitely looks like coolant leak to me. Not exactly sure where it's leaking from, but we're gonna have to figure it out. You can still hear the turbo cooling off, but I'm gonna have to climb in a little bit further and see where it's leaking from. Well, I'm under the car now, and as you can imagine, it's very warm in here. And so far, it looks like it's that bolt. After further inspection, it looks like it's not the bolt that is leaking. It's that joint right there. It's very difficult to get on film because I don't want to burn my phone. Can't touch it or anything, everything's very hot. But it definitely looks like that part right there. Not exactly sure what that is just yet. But I assume it's either a water pump or it's just right there, right behind that bolt. It's probably a water pump or maybe a thermostat. These things are famous for having the thermostats replaced and the water pumps, so I'm gonna do a little bit more research and see if we can fix it. After just a few minutes of research, I'm pretty sure I found what the part is. Looks like it's the coolant pump, or as we call it, the water pump. Fortunately, they're not very expensive, so I just click on the part number. We got the part number, we can look it up. And as you can see, you can get them fairly cheap. If you go on Amazon, let's see what we can find. About $91, probably a few more on here as well, with the pulley and the gasket, so that's not too bad. Let's see if we can find a better deal. There you go, plan. Oh, there's one actually for $37. So I'll do my research, order whichever one I think is best for me, and get it replaced. Of course, there are many ways to troubleshoot an overheating engine, but some of the things you want to pay attention to is obviously your coolant. Does it go low after a while? Even if it takes a month, it could still be, dripping very slowly or going somewhere, and if there's not enough coolant, your engine's going to overheat. In my case, the coolant was actually slightly below the minimum, so maybe like to that, like just right there, which you wouldn't think is a big deal, but in my case, it was causing the overheating of the engine. Some of the things I checked before I started looking for a leak was the oil. I just wanted to see and make sure there's no sludge in the oil, no white foam or anything like that. And as you can see, it's really, really good in there, especially for a 2010 car. So luckily there isn't a gasket issue on this car where the coolant would be leaking into the oil, which is, kind of the worst case scenario with an overheating car. In my case, it's a water pump. I believe it to be a water pump, which I'm going to be replacing in the next video, or maybe in the next couple of videos, depends if I have anything planned in between. But it's all the way deep in there, so it's going to be probably a little bit of a hassle to get to. This engine bay is pretty compact. There's not a lot of space to work on. You can barely stick your hand in between any of the parts. Unlike my Z4 where you had, a couple of feet of space on each side. But thank you guys for watching. If you need help replacing the water pump, look for my next video. I'll do an instructional video where I show step by step on how to replace it. Hopefully we're gonna get this baby back up and running, drive it for a while, maybe even sell it. What do you guys think? Let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Definitely helps the channel out. Appreciate you guys watching.